Bears-Packers rivalry is one of the oldest and most intense rivalries of the National Football League. Over the years, the rivalry has included many memorable moments and memorable players. Chicago Bears, then known as the Decatur Staleys, first met the Packers on November 27, 1921, shutting them out 20-0. In the early years, the Packers have had their upper hand, winning most of their matchups against the Bears. The Packers won their first 3 NFL championships in 1929, 1930, and 1931, establishing themselves as a dominant team. In 1922, George Halas became the player coach of the Bears and would go on to become one of the most influential figures in the rivalry's history. The rivalry intensified in the 1930s when the Bears and the Packers faced off in several important games, including the 1932 NFL Championship game, which ended in a 9-0 victory for the Bears. This game is often cited as a turning point in the rivalry. The Bears, led by quarterback Sid Luckman, enjoyed a dominant 1940s while the Packers struggled. The Bears won 4 NFL championships during this decade, further fueling the intensity of the rivalry. In the 1960s, the Packers, under the leadership of head coach Vince Lombardi, became a powerhouse team, winning 5 NFL championships and the first 2 Super Bowls. During this time, the rivalry between Packers quarterback Bart Starr and the Bears linebacker Dick Butkus became one of the most iconic player matchups in NFL history. The two teams have been a part of the same division since 1970 after the NFL divisional realignment, at first in the NFC Central and currently in the NFC North. They have played each other twice a year ever since then. In the 1980s, the Bears were led by the dominant defense of Mike Ditka and got their first Super Bowl win. The rivalry continued to be intense in the following decades, with both teams experiencing periods of success and competitive matchups. Aaron Rodgers emerging as the Packers quarterback in the mid-2000s, this added another chapter to the rivalry, as Rodgers' battles against the Bears have been a significant storyline in recent years. Bears fans are known for their passionate and loyal support of the team. They are considered one of the most dedicated and enthusiastic fan bases in the NFL. Bears fans are known for their loyalty for the team, regardless of the team's performance. Even if the season is a struggle, the fans continue to support their team with enthusiasm. The rivalry between the Bears and the Packers is another defining characteristic of Bears fans. They have intense competition between these two teams, and it creates a passionate and often heated environment during games. Bears fans take pride in their team during this time. Packers fans are widely regarded as some of the most devoted and passionate fans in the NFL. Their unwavering loyalty and support for the Green Bay Packers is legendary. Packers fans are known for their community and their loyalty to the team. Even though it's a losing season, they continue to sell out tickets. Chicago and Green Bay are very close to each other, which allows for more competition in the market space. Since both markets are close to each other, that often makes these two teams fight for the same customers, as people in Chicago are Packers fans and vice versa. The Packers-Bears rivalry are very similar because they're both historic teams who have had the most championships in the league. They both have passionate fan bases and have iconic stadiums in Lambeau Field and Soldier Field. This rivalry has helped increase brand distinctiveness because these games between the two teams are so hyped up that the average person who does not watch football will still know about these two teams. The rivalry between the two teams have helped the brand immensely because whenever the Bears and the Packers play each other, it is a must-see game, and the two teams have been seen to collaborate each other for promotion for these games. Overall, the effect of this rivalry in the culture and the fans is a positive one because the Bears and the Packers are both very iconic teams, and these two fan bases thrive on that rivalry, and football would just not be the same without it.
Big Mac or Whopper? This frequently asked question has stumped consumers looking to purchase fast food for years. They're faced with the choice of either going to McDonald's or Burger King, both popular fast food joints of today. These two rival companies have tried many different methods to entice consumers to visit the locations, with their ads generating lots of very interesting beef over the years. Founded in the 1940s by brothers Richard and Maurice McDonald, McDonald's started off as a restaurant in San Bernardino, California. Years later, they rebranded to a hamburger stand and gained their Golden Arches logo in 1953 at a location in Phoenix, Arizona. Ray Kroc joined the company in 1955 and purchased it from the McDonald's brothers. Expanding on the chain, he helped turn it into the global franchise it is today. 13 years after the founding of McDonald's, Insta Burger King was founded in Jacksonville, Florida. The chain started a series of purchase handovers in 1959 when franchisees Dave Edgerton and James McLemore bought it and renamed it Burger King. The company would change hands 4 more times through the end of the decade following a decline in sales and interest. with the current owners, the Brazilian global investment firm 3G Capital, stating that they'd heavily invest in the company to reverse its decline. The rivalry between McDonald's and Burger King started in the 1960s. McDonald's, as the market leader, created commercials marketed towards children with their Ronald McDonald mascot. They also created the Big Mac jingle, listing the ingredients of the famous burger. Burger King in turn created their own jingle, Have It Your Way, focused on Burger King's customization policy. In 1982, Burger King directly called out McDonald's in an ad campaign starring 4-year-old Sarah Michelle Gellar, claiming that McDonald's burgers were 20% smaller than Burger King's. McDonald's sued them for defamation and misleading and false campaign, with the suit later being settled. Another ad campaign, Where's Herb, was launched during the 1985 Super Bowl to try to attract attention to Burger King. However, the campaign massively flopped, leading to a profit decline for Burger King. Direct competition paused for a brief period after the campaign, as McDonald's found a rise in sales and popularity compared to its competitors. In the early 2000s, though, Burger King's owners hired Crispin Porter and Bogowski for marketing, with CP&B creating many memorable and subversive ad campaigns, including the return of the Have It Your Way slogan, the subservient chicken stunt, and the rebranding of the King into a weird plastic head mascot. The Whopper Sacrifice ad campaign was not targeted specifically towards McDonald's, but it did go against the family and friends ads McDonald's was creating. After consumers removed 10 Facebook friends, they'd be eligible for a free Whopper, with Burger King saying the unfriended people were only worth 1/10 of a Whopper. A far more direct ad campaign was the 2018 Whopper Detour, where if customers using the Burger King app drove to a McDonald's and ordered the Whopper at the location, it only cost 1 cent. This successful campaign led to 1.5 million downloads for the Burger King app. The most recent subversive ad has been the Moldy Whopper, another jab at McDonald's for the amount of artificial ingredients and preservatives their food has. In the ad, a time-lapse shows a Whopper growing moldy, going along with Burger King's promise of removing over 120 artificial ingredients and preservatives from their food. This campaign met with mixed success, however, as the COVID-19 pandemic drove Burger King sales down by 25%. Throughout the years, while the rivalry has been fairly one-sided, it demonstrates the underdog side of marketing. By taking jabs at the top competitor, companies can slowly work their way up by marketing themselves as a better choice. By using that strategy, Burger King has been able to stay the third most popular burger chain in the country and has left a lasting impression on millions of consumers.